Welcome to Minnesota Music Mom. I'm Karen Davis. I just had to wear one of my favorite shirts. It says, "Please do not disturb. I'm disturbed enough already." Need I say more? All right, tonight I would like to play a song for you out of Sacred Silhouettes. I've played 3 songs out of here already. This is by Dennis Alexander and Alfred Publishing, and it's early to late intermediate solo arrangements. The 3 songs I've already played you can find in the playlist area at Minnesota Music Mom. They are He Leadeth Me, Jesus Keep Me Near the Cross, and Son of My Soul. Tonight I would like to play Faith of Our Fathers. It's 3 pages long with no flats or sharps. All right, I added that last chord. How it really ends is, and that's okay too, but I just wanted something a little different. So that was Faith of Our Fathers, and the hardest part for me was on the second page at the top, where it has some connecting notes here. And you know, I'm not proud to say that I have played this song a variety of times for a variety of church services, funeral services, and so forth, and I never paid any attention to those lines at the top. I didn't really know what they meant. I'm not the best at theory. You know, I took theory class back in elementary school, and I just never really cared for it. Like I've mentioned before, I just play songs the way I want to play them. However they were written is fine, but I just play them the way I feel like it. However I want to play them. Of course, you can't do that for hymns. You know, in church when people are singing with you, you have to follow what the timing is and so forth. But for pre-service, offertory, postlude, I'll play postludes for pre-service and pre-service for postludes. Sometimes, depending on the song, sometimes you can't. Doesn't sound quite right, but I just play it how I feel it. And so I have been asked by a variety of people if I give music lessons. And I always say, no, you don't want me for a teacher. You don't, because I'm just going to teach them to play however you feel it. How do you feel it? Just play it the way you feel it. So the top line on this, I'm like, I don't know what those lines are. I don't really care. So I just played it the way I wanted to. And since I was going to play it for you, you know, I should probably figure out what those lines are for. And I'm glad I did, because it's really cool, because it pulls the melody from one to the, well, I'm sure you know this, and you're saying, why didn't I know this? It pulls the melody from one hand to the other hand, from the top to the bottom, and it sounds really cool. So I wish I would have done that sooner. So maybe a lesson to be learned is don't follow in my tracks. And just pay a little more attention. All right, so that was out of the book titled Sacred Silhouettes, Early to Late Intermediate Solo Arrangements, Dennis Alexander by Alfred Publishing. And I had a subscriber request, and I want to apologize ahead of time if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. You have such a pretty name, but I don't quite know how to pronounce it. Chumay? I'm not sure, but it is so pretty. And your request was, can I suggest more easy books like the ones, I played some songs out of this Sunday Solos, and your request was if I have some more suggestions of books like this or songs like this that are more easy or intermediate level. So I looked through my collection, and of course this series has some more, so you might enjoy these too. More of them. I also have even more Sunday Solos, and then they also have Sunday Solos, the first one, Sunday Solos for piano, and then also seasonal Sunday Solos. And so you might enjoy these. I'm guessing that they're probably the same, along the same order as the blue one. But other suggestions I have was what I just played tonight, Sacred Silhouettes. That's a nice one. But I looked through my collection, and I'm sorry to say I really don't have a lot. Actually, my largest collection suggestion to you is Lorie Line. Have you heard of Lorie Line? Lori and then Line. Wait a minute, what am I saying? There's an E at the end. Lorie and then Line. Lorie Line. A lot of her books, there are a variety of levels within that book. Like, for instance, the Heritage Collection. Here's Heritage Collection 2. By the way, I mentioned in another video too what I did with some of these books, because Lorie Line books, I love Lorie Line arrangements, but the books are really hard bound, and so unless you crack the lining and really work with it to get it to stay open, it'll keep flipping on you. So for some of them, what I did is I took it to a store, and I want to say it was like Staples or Office Depot or something like that, and I gave them the whole book, and they shaved off the binding, and then they punched 3 holes in, or maybe I had to punch the holes in, but anyway, they shaved off the binding and got rid of the glue so that I could take it and put it in a 3-ring binder. So I have the whole book in a 3-ring binder, and then I put the back cover on the back, and the front cover on the front. So I can just slip it out here, and then if I need the index, I usually don't need the index, but you can see then the index and these binders that have a slip cover, in the front. It works really slick, because then too, let's say that I'm playing for a wedding or a funeral, and I only need one song out of 4 different books. Okay, well, instead of dragging 4 binders along with me, then I just pull out each song from each binder that I need and put it all combined in one binder for that wedding or for that funeral. That works really nice. So anyway, the Heritage Collection, Lorie Line, this is Heritage 2, and then there is Heritage 3. And my point being on these is that the first one didn't show it, but this one I believe will show it. No. Some of them they have dots. They show how difficult they are. And maybe it's here. Yeah. All right. So if you look at this index, you see the dots. 1 dot is the least difficult, and 2 dots and 3 dots. And she actually has an explanation here. It says, beginners should start with songs marked with a single dot. Intermediate players will enjoy playing music marked with a double dot. And advanced readers and players can play all the music in this book and music with 3 dots. And then, so she not only has the dots in the index, but she also has the dot with the music. So it's really nice. Like here's Eternal Father, the Navy hymn. She's got 2 dots. So you know right away, before you even start playing the song, how difficult it's going to be. So that's really helpful. So my suggestion to you is check out Lorie Line if you haven't already. And she has a whole many varieties of books at her website, www.lorieline.com. She also has some books for practicing. They're called Practice, Practice, Practice. I think that's the series. And, at book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm not sure how many books in that series, but I have seen, I believe, up to 7. So whatever level you feel you're at. And I feel the website is really helpful too, to let you know, what's in the book and so forth. Now here's the Heritage Collection 4, and it has the same thing with the dots, in the index. And then there is Heritage Collection 5. Do I like Lorie Line or do I like Lorie Line? And Heritage Collection 6. And Heritage Collection 7. Now this one I have not, done anything with the binding, so I've really tried to bend it to get it to work well. And then she has other, like here's Lorie Line Music from the Heart, and beautiful songs, beautiful arrangements. They're not all religious. If you're not into religious music, I know I've pretty much been playing religious music because it's kind of a double benefit for me, because I am trying to help you as far as people who play in church or just like music in general. But I mean, it helps me too, because then I'm learning music that I can play in church. So it's kind of as a selfish reason. Not really. I just think that it's a double kind of a reason. And then here's Lorie Line Young at Heart, and that has some pretty songs in it as well. And then Lorie Line Serendipity, and now this one has all her original arrangements in it. And there are some nice songs in here. And again, with the dots, she's got them marked so that I'm pretty sure this one is marked. Yeah. Yep, they've got the dots in there so you can tell, which ones are easy and which ones are a little harder. And then here's Lorie Line The Early Years. Got a whole shelf of Lorie Line books. Okay, now the other person that I would suggest you check out is Valerie Floeter, and you've heard me talk about her as well. She also has a variety of levels within each book. So, like for instance, here's a nice book, Let Us Ever Walk with Jesus. There are some really nice songs in here. To check out her catalog, it is www.floetermusic.com. So it's www.floetermusic.com. And I had mentioned to you in one of my other videos the whole collection of these, the 10 sacred piano solos, that I've got all 10 books of these. In each book, there are a variety of levels. I feel, anyway, that's my personal opinion. I feel some of them are easier and some of them are more difficult. But she's got a whole catalog, of books and series and so forth. So those, after looking at all my collection, those really are my suggestions to you. I feel that Lorie Line and Valerie Floeter would have some good choices for you. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope that you are able to find what you're looking for. All right. Well, thank you very much for visiting. And again, the book that I played out of, the song I played out of tonight is Sacred Silhouettes, and it was called Faith of Our Fathers. And if you're interested in other songs or other books I've played out of, feel free to visit the playlist area. Thanks so much for stopping by. We'll catch you next time.